Picture this. The most valuable product Tesla ever ships is not a car, not a battery pack, not even the software that drives them. It walks on two legs, opens a door, carries a box, folds a shirt, maybe one day helps your nan into a chair. Elon Musk has framed Optimus as something far bigger than a side project. In his version of the future, this humanoid robot is the wager, the big one, the trillion-dollar machine that could eclipse the car business entirely. And look, that is an outrageous claim, which is exactly why we've got to inspect it with a jeweler's eye, not a fan club membership. Musk's core argument is actually pretty simple, even if the valuation talk gets a bit fireworks at midnight. He says the world has chronic labor shortages in all sorts of repetitive, dull, dangerous, or physically taxing jobs. Factories, warehouses, logistics, aged care support, cleaning, retail backrooms, basic household tasks. There's no shortage of work that humans either can't fill, won't fill, or cost too much to fill consistently. So if you build a general-purpose machine that can operate in spaces already designed for humans, you don't need to rebuild the whole world around the robot. That's the trick. A humanoid can use the stairs, the shelves, the doors, the tools. Same environment, new worker. Neat little bit of leverage, that. And that's why Musk keeps suggesting robots could ultimately matter more than cars. A car, even a brilliant one, does one broad category of thing: transport. A capable humanoid, in theory, could do thousands of economically useful tasks. Not perfectly, not all at once, but enough to become a flexible labor platform. Terrible phrase, labor platform. Sounds like something dreamt up in a boardroom with stale muffins. But you get the point. The addressable market becomes enormous because human labor itself is enormous. Musk has gone further than that, saying Optimus could represent the majority of Tesla's long-term value. In various interviews, product events, and earnings discussions, he's hinted that humanoid robotics may become Tesla's biggest product line and a huge share of future revenue if the company can scale manufacturing and make the robots useful enough, cheap enough, and reliable enough. That last bit matters. The claim is not merely robots are cool, it's robots can be mass manufactured like consumer hardware and deployed like industrial labor. That is a much harder proposition. Independent analysts, though, are nowhere near unanimous. Some see the size of the market and nod along. Yes, if general humanoids work, the opportunity could be vast. Others say the leap from prototype demos to economically productive fleets is so massive that talking about majority of company value today is, well, a bit like pricing a trail bike before you've found the engine. The gulf between possible and bankable is where fortunes are made and torched. And Tesla, to be fair, is asking investors to squint across that gulf and see an army of useful machines marching back with profits. So that's the outrageous thesis. Not just a robot, but a universal worker. Not just a product, but a category. Not just incremental upside, but maybe the center of Tesla's future. Bold? Absolutely. Mad? Maybe. Or maybe it's the most cold-bloodedly logical bet in tech. If the technology catches up before the story runs out of road. Tesla's pitch has evolved from here's a person in a suit dancing near the concept, which, mate, was a very strange day on the internet, to showing more concrete hardware and task demos. The company has highlighted newer Optimus generations with improvements in walking, balance, hand design, actuators, weight reduction, and battery integration. Tesla has also shown the robot doing simple manipulation tasks, sorting objects, handling items, and moving with more apparent stability than the earliest reveal. Important caveat though, demos are not deployment. A polished clip tells you progress exists. It does not tell you the robot is ready for 8-hour shifts with human-level adaptability. On manufacturing, Musk has said Tesla wants to build Optimus at scale using the company's strength in high-volume production. That's a key part of the strategy because the whole business case gets ugly fast if every robot is basically a hand-built science project. Tesla has talked about pilot production and internal factory use first, which makes sense. Before you promise the world a robot workforce, you test it inside your own walls, where the tasks are controlled, the economics are visible, and the embarrassment stays mostly in-house. There have also been comments about repurposing or expanding factory capacity for robot production over time, though the exact timing and throughput remain fuzzy and very much subject to execution risk. Pricing is another moving target. Musk has floated the idea that Optimus could eventually cost somewhere in the range of a car, sometimes even lower than many cars, if Tesla achieves scale. That is central to the pitch. A humanoid that costs a fortune might still have niche industrial uses. A humanoid that becomes relatively affordable opens far bigger markets. But again, that's an aspiration, not a settled fact. Costing a prototype is one game. Costing a durable, safe, maintainable, mass-market robot with supply chain depth is another. Different paddock entirely. Now, the reason Tesla thinks it has a special angle here is the AI stack. Musk has repeatedly argued that solving real-world autonomy for cars, perception, planning, inference, edge case handling, creates a foundation for humanoid robotics. The reasoning goes like this. A self-driving car must interpret messy reality from cameras and make decisions in real time. A humanoid robot also needs vision-first understanding of unstructured environments, just with arms, legs, and hands added on top. Tesla's work in neural networks, training infrastructure, custom compute, and embedded AI could, in theory, transfer. That doesn't mean driving software simply hops into a robot body. Different embodiment, different control problems. But the shared challenge is real-world intelligence, and Tesla believes that's its home turf. Against rivals, Tesla is not alone in the ring. Companies like Figure, Agility Robotics, Boston Dynamics, Sanctuary AI, and Unitree, among others, have all shown serious progress in mobility or manipulation or enterprise partnerships. Some competitors appear further along in targeted warehouse or industrial pilots. Others have stronger robotics pedigrees. Tesla's potential advantage is the combo platter: manufacturing scale, capital access, battery and actuator know-how, in-house AI, and a culture that's comfortable shipping unfinished things and improving fast. Its disadvantages are just as real. Humanoid robotics is brutally hard. Competition is intense, and Tesla still has to prove that automotive-style iteration translates into dependable robotic labor. Even a kangaroo could trip over that one. The bull case is dazzling. If Tesla, or anyone really, can produce cheap, capable humanoids, you're staring at a platform that could spread across logistics, manufacturing, elder support, hospitality, agriculture support tasks, and eventually household labor. Warehouses alone are full of repeatable movement, lifting, sorting, scanning, and carting jobs. Factories are packed with dull jobs that humans do because the environment was built for human bodies, not because human fingers are the perfect tool. A useful humanoid could slot into that world with less infrastructure change than purpose-built automation. That matters. The easier it is to deploy, the faster the market can expand. Then there's demographics. Many economies are aging. Labor pools are tightening in certain sectors. Wages rise, service expectations rise, and some jobs remain chronically understaffed. In that context, the appeal of a machine that can perform physical work around the clock is obvious. If capability improves while costs fall, the market doesn't just become big, it becomes foundational. Supporters see something like the smartphone or the industrial robot or the personal computer, a platform that starts narrow, looks clumsy, then suddenly it's everywhere, and you can't remember the old world properly. But, and it's a serious but, the skepticism is not some joyless academic footnote. It's the main event. Humanoid robotics demands reliable mobility, dexterity, object recognition, force control, safety, battery life, low maintenance, and useful autonomy in messy, real environments. One weak link and the economics can collapse. Walking is hard. Hands are hard. Grasping unknown objects is hard. Not smacking into a coworker while doing all that, also hard. A demo of folding a shirt is nice. Doing it 10,000 times around people, with wrinkles, lighting changes, and dropped garments, without constant babysitting, that's the commercial test. Then there's regulation and trust. A robot in a fenced industrial zone is one thing. A robot in public-facing settings, homes, or care environments invites tougher standards, liability questions, insurance headaches, and plain old human discomfort. Demand might also be less automatic than the bulls assume. Firms don't buy magical future labor, they buy return on investment. If the robot needs supervision, frequent service, or narrow task tuning, customers may stick with simpler automation or human workers for longer than the glossy forecasts suggest. And yes, Musk's own history sits in the room, impeccably dressed, saying nothing. He is unusually good at identifying where technology could go and unusually optimistic about when it will arrive. That duality is the whole puzzle. On one hand, dismissing him outright has often been expensive. On the other, taking every timeline literally has also been expensive. So the sensible read is this. His vision may be directionally profound, while his clocks remain decorative. So where do I land? Optimus could become a revolutionary platform if Tesla can turn showpieces into dependable units and dependability into mass production. That is a mountain, not a speed bump. Right now, the robot is best understood as a high-stakes option on the future, potentially enormous, definitely unproven. Revolutionary platform in the making? Maybe. The priciest act of technological overconfidence yet? Also maybe. That's the delicious part, isn't it? We're watching a company try to mass produce a science fiction labor force and call it strategy. And honestly, I can't look away. Catch you next time.